Good Thursday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. This is the last day of the heat and humidity, I promise. This is the video forecast discussion for Thursday, the 3rd of September, 2015. Somewhat of a hazy, foggy start in parts of the region this morning with light and calm winds and, high relative humidity values as well as dew points and temperatures that are in the 60s across most of the region. They're already up into the mid-70s in the New York City metropolitan area like Central Park and LaGuardia, already up to 77. Kennedy International 74, 75 in Newark this morning. Temperatures also running generally in the low to the mid-60s across most of the outlying suburbs. And out on Long Island, they're in the upper 60s to lower 70s, and there's quite a lot of haze and visibility is being restricted by fog and or haze. Visibility is a quarter of a mile in Shirley and West Hampton and an eighth of a mile at Islip. And we have visibilities that are going to be improving over the next couple of hours as the sun burns through the clouds. Morning chart from WeatherRoanoke.com and Digital Atmosphere Software shows high pressure generally in control of our weather right now. We have a weak thermal trough here moving off the eastern United States coast of the New Jersey and Delmarva coast. This was associated with a batch of thunderstorms yesterday. We'll show you that on Doppler in just a moment. Yesterday, as we mentioned, we had a trough here move through with a shortwave disturbance move through the Virginias here, and this produced some hail and some tree damage and wind damage and very heavy rainfall across this portion of the Washington, D.C. Metroplex area. Morning passive visible satellite this morning shows mostly clear skies. There are some patchy fog and haze and some higher jet stream clouds or jet streak clouds across the region. And generally just a tropical air mass still in place across the region. We're waiting for a cold front to drop through during tonight and tomorrow to provide the relief as the winds begin to shift around to the northeast and we get more of a marine type air mass moving into the northern mid-Atlantic rather than a south-southwest wind and a tropical air mass that's in place, and there is no precipitation that's occurring right now. On the aviation and weather deck today, we do have some NVFR visibility restrictions till around just after sunrise this morning, and then VFR through the rest of the day. There will be an isolated shower or thunderstorm, could affect portions of the region, very isolated though, and the chance of any of our terminal areas getting affected by a shower is too low to mention in the forecast grids. The wind is forecast to favor a north-northwest for today at less than 10 knots. Surface trough expected to move inland from off the ocean, and it should affect Atlantic City this afternoon, bringing the winds to the east and southeast there. And we're seeing that refresh right now. Light and variable winds this evening should become northeast late tonight as the cold front drops through the region from the north, wind speeds favoring less than 10 knots. VFR conditions on Friday. Some showers and thunderstorms are possible, especially near and around Philadelphia and west and south. There is a chance for a period of low clouds and MVFR development in the afternoon and evening, especially from Reading and Philadelphia to Atlantic City and southward. However, this is low confidence too. And we'll have northeast winds at around 10 to 15 knots with some gust in the afternoon tomorrow and evening, mainly closer to the coast. Saturday through Monday, VFR, excellent flying conditions for this holiday weekend. East-northeast winds mainly 10 to 15 knots Saturday, diminishing and becoming southeasterly before turning south-southwest again on Monday. Right now, outside of Newark, 75, dew point 66. Humidity 74%. The wind is northwest at 5. Visibility 9 miles an hour. Visibility 9 miles actually. Clouds about 25,000 feet and scattered clouds throughout the day and broken this evening. VFR conditions in place. Philadelphia VFR 2. Right now 77, dew point 64, humidity 65%. A few clouds at 5,000. That's going to scatter out. And scattered clouds at 25,000. VFR conditions in place. Still have a little bit of a frog in my throat this morning. I don't know what's going on there. Air quality for today is going to be, not so good. So if you're having breathing problems out there, the air quality alert is for high ozone layers and layers of concentration of fine particles. And of course, this is all going to be washed away when the air mass begins to change during tonight and tomorrow. Pollen forecast for today right through the weekend is going to be on the high side with ragweed, chenopod's, and nettles continuing to broadcast. And with this spectacular weather coming up for the weekend, the UVI index is going to be high, so don't forget that sunscreen. Surf zone forecast for the New York beaches and Long Island beaches for today. Low threat of rip currents, lightning threat none, seas around 2 feet. Water temperatures are in the upper 70s, mostly sunny skies. Max temperatures in the afternoon around the surf in the mid-80s. North winds becoming south in the afternoon. And the next high tide at Rockaway Inlet will be at 6:18 this evening. from east to west. Mostly sunny skies for beaches of New Jersey and Delaware, upper 80s for temperatures, north winds turning around to the east during the afternoon, surfing around 2 feet, and the UVI index will be high at 7 rather, water temperature 75, low risk of rip currents today. The next high tide at Belmore will be at 11:42 this morning. Surface forecast charts from the Weather Prediction Center will move into the chances of showers across the region. They'll be isolated later tonight and early tomorrow morning as a backdoor cold front moves through the region. It's going to be a beautiful weekend coming up. Absolutely beautiful weather as the cold front sinks further to the south. During the morning on Friday, winds will turn around to the northeast around this high pressure dome across southeastern Canada, and the air mass will begin to dry out appreciably. And we'll notice a cool down with an onshore flow developing across the region. This onshore flow is then going to be continuing across the region as high pressure builds in across the region during the day on Friday and Friday night and into Saturday. And the high will be responsible for beautiful weather conditions throughout the weekend with generally sunny skies, few scattered clouds. High pressures in control on Sunday, Labor Day on Monday. And it looks like it's going to take until the mid part of next week before this cold front makes its way to the eastern United States coast. And that means that more dry weather, but more southerly flow and a return and uptick in humidity will be felt on later Monday and Tuesday. But generally overall, pleasant weather conditions coming up for the next several days right into the early part of next week. 6 to 10 days above normal temperatures here in the eastern United States, below normal precipitation, or this forecast calling for at or above, but I think that that's probably wrong over the next 6 to 10 days. 8 to 14 days above normal temperatures and above normal precipitation. I don't think this is correct either. And the reason why that last graphic seems a little bit off to me from the Weather Prediction Center, or the Climate Prediction Center actually, is because most of the model guidance continues ridging across the central and eastern United States. Now this is the 500 millibar mean anomaly from the European model guidance, and this takes us out to the middle part of the month of September. Notice the ridge axis here across the east, a trough in the west, but then by the time we get to the later part of the forecast, tries to move the trough through southern Canada into the southern plains, but still a zonal flow is in place, and a ridge axis begins to build over and south of the Aleutian Islands here, which makes sense, but also makes sense that ridging is going to continue under the North American block here, and the developing NAO still forecasted by most of the model guidance in the means here across southern Greenland. So it means that the trough axis here will probably not make it into the east coast until after the middle part of the month. So no changes here in the forecast. The above normal precipitation forecasted for this time with below normal temperatures from just the last graphic that we showed you looks a bit wrong to me. The GFS maps into motion now. High pressure across the region. Backdoor cold front slices through the region later this afternoon and evening. Could touch off an isolated shower or thunderstorm. The atmosphere in the mid and upper levels so warm. Chances of a heavy downpour is possible, but precipitable water values are high, but not looking for any severe weather. And then the cold front moves through the region. High pressure begins to build in across the region later on Friday night and Saturday and Sunday. The high parks itself with an orientation of an easterly flow or northeasterly flow from off the ocean. So the temperature is definitely going to be cooler on Friday with lower humidities Friday afternoon right through Saturday and Sunday. The high will then change its orientation, and the winds will become more southerly, and that means dew points and humidities will be on the increase as we head into Sunday afternoon and Monday. And it looks like the high is going to park itself across the forecast region, and that means that more humid weather and sultry weather will return for your Labor Day and your Labor Day afternoon celebrations this weekend. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous out there. The next cold front really does try to make an attempt to come through the region. Could be a shortwave trough first on Tuesday, followed by another frontal system moving through the region on Wednesday with isolated to scattered showers moving through the region, but most of the energy will remain to the north into southeastern Canada as the cold front comes through. And it basically looks right now like this front and another disturbance here could be joining its forces together as it makes its way through on Friday, Thursday night or Friday, with the secondary cold front moving through, and then more high pressure begins to build in across the forecast region for the following weekend once again. So for everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Keep your cool out there today, and we'll see you bright and early on Friday morning.